Here we are in section 3.3 exercises part C with the review for the exam. Number 17 says to solve, which means we're getting the variables all on the same side and by themselves. So here we have 7p plus 12 equals 15 minus 7p. Oh, we've got multiple p's that we've got to take care of. Let's get rid of one set of them, plus the 7p onto both sides of the equation. And we're left with 14p plus 12 equals 15, and this set is gone. Now the p's are all together by themselves. How can we get the p by itself? Get rid of that plus 12. Minus 12 minus 12. We get 14p equals 3. And we need to undo that timesing by 14 with a divided by 14. Divide by 14 and we're left with p equals 3/14. Let's check our answer to make sure we're good. Here we have p equals 3/14, number 17. Okay, the next one, number 18. 3n plus 68 equals 7 minus 2n minus 2. The last n minus 2 is in parentheses. Yeah, we got to get rid of that parentheses to simplify this. So let's jump that negative 2n and we get 3n plus 68 equals 7 minus 2n plus 4. Ooh, the n's are still separate from each other, so let's get rid of either the 3n or the negative 2n, and we'll do that with a plus 2n on both sides of the equation. On the right hand side, that will cancel completely and we'll be left with 5n plus 68 equals, and on this side we just have 7 plus 4 is 11. Now the n's are all together on one side and it's simplified, so now we just have to peel off the plus 68 with a minus 68, minus 68. 5n equals negative 57. Divide both sides by 5 as the last step, and we get n equals a negative 57 fifths. Does that simplify at all? I don't think so. I think that's about what we've got. Let's check our answer. N equals negative 57 fifths. And if you divided these out and got the decimal equivalent, that's certainly okay. Number 19. 2x minus 10 equals 5, parentheses, x minus 4. We have parentheses that we've got to take care of, and let's jump that 5 in to do so. 2x minus 10 equals 5x minus 5 times 4 is a 20. These x's are still separated, so we've got to get them together. Let's get rid of one set of them, subtract 2x from both sides. We could have subtracted 5x if we chose. Those are gone, and we have negative 10 equals 3x minus 20. Now the x's are all together on the same side, so we just need to peel off the addition subtraction, so add 20. And we get 3x equals negative 10 plus 20 is a positive 10. Divide that timesing by 3 right there to get rid of that, and you have x equals a 10/3. All right, let's double check our answer. X equals 10/3, that's correct. Number 20. Here we have kind of a word problem. It says 18 is what percent of 68? Well, we need to transfer this into an equation to solve it. So 18 is what percent? This is our question. This is our variable. Let's use a p for percent. P of times 68. Well, look at that. We just turned it into a math equation. We know how to solve that. We undo this timesing by 68 by dividing by 68. So p is going to equal 18 divided by 68. So let's put it over here. This implies that p equals, out our calculator, 18 divided by 68. And that equals 0.2647. 0.2647. Now if we answer the question correctly, this is a percent we've got to turn it into, not just a decimal. So we move it like that and it becomes 26.47%. Let's check our answer. They rounded one less decimal place than we did and rounded it to 26.5. Both are perfectly fine answers. Number 21. Here we have 119 that's equals 28%, which needs to be moved to a decimal, 0.28, of what? Well, there's our N for number, or W for what, or X is a very common variable. There we go. Now we have it in an equation. Why is that a happy face? Because we know how to solve these. We get X by itself by dividing by 0.28 on both sides, 0.28. So we get X equals 119 divided by 0.28. Let's pull out the calculator and do 119 divided by 0.28. And that equals 425. And it's just a number. We don't need to change that to a percent. It isn't asking us for that. Let's double check our answer. 425 is correct. Number 22. Here we have an original price of $92.56 and a tax of 7.3%. Now remember, a tax, the 7.3% will be of this number. It's always 0.073 times the original. Now, the other question is, what does a tax do? Does it add or subtract from it? And it adds to it always. A tax is added on to something. So, we're going to take this original price, 92.56, and it's going to add on the tax, which is 7.3%, changed to a decimal is 0.073, 7.3% of that original price, 92.56. Now you'll notice that this is going to equal our final price. We don't need any algebra. We don't need it, to undo anything. We just need to calculate what is happening. We have the 92.56, and then we add on 7.3%, 0.073 of, which timeses that 92.56. And we get 99.316, so 32, 99.32. 99.32 right there. Let's check our answer. $99.32 correct. Now let's do the next one. Original price, we don't know, but the discount, which means to subtract, that it's on sale, the discount is 35%, and it's 35% of that original price, but we don't know what that is. And then when we subtract it off, it will give us the final price here. So this one we have to go backwards. It's necessary for us to use algebra to go backwards on this problem. Let's put a variable in here. How about P for price? Yeah, so what happened? We had an original price, and then it got discounted. 35%, moved the decimal 2 places to 0.35 of that original price, and it equaled $13.90. Good. P minus 0.35P equals $13.90. Look at this. This is an equation. We're happy with this guy because we know how to solve this. Combine these like terms. 1P minus 0.35P is 0.65P equals 13.90. And we don't need that 0 on the end. Can we solve for P? Sure we can. That's multiplying by 0.65, so we undo it with dividing by 0.65. And we end up with P equals, calculator, let's move it over here, and we get 13.9 divided by 0.65 equals 21.384, so 21.38. $21.38 is what P will equal. Let's double check our answer. 21.38 is correct. Number 24. If the price of a meal after a 20% tip was $16.08, what was the price of the meal before the tip was added? So we're looking for the price of the meal. Let's use a variable M. So the price of a meal had a 20% tip, so we're going to do 0.20 times what? Well, always times the original. And it was added. We can see that right there. A tip on the meal was added. So let's think about how this worked. We had the price of the meal, and it was added to 20% of the meal. So 20% of the meal was the tip added to the meal, and it equaled 16.08. And look at that. We have just created an equation that we know how to solve. Happy face right there. M plus 0.2m, there's a 1 out in front of that. So we get 1.2m equals 16.08. Do we know how to solve this? Sure we do. Let's divide by that 1.2. Divide by 1.2. The 1.2's will cancel on the left-hand side, and on this side, the right-hand side, we'll get our calculator out. 16.08 divided by 1.2 equals 13.4. So what this means is that $13.40 was the original price of the meal. Then 20% of that, I'm not sure what that is, but that was added on to get us up to 16.08. Okay, let's try the last one. If the price of an object dropped, that's subtraction, 15% of that price, always percents are of something, down to 413.10, this is the final. What was the original price? We don't know the original one, we're going to have to go backwards, so let's pick a variable, like p. So if the price of an object, price, drops down 15%, 0.15 of, percents are always of the original price, and it equals 413.10. There we go. We're in an equation. We know how to solve this guy. Let's combine these like terms. 1 minus 0.15 is 0.85p is going to equal 413.10. How do we get the p by itself? Well, we divide by 0.85. Divide by 0.85, divide by 0.85, and those on the left side are gone, and we get p equals, calculator, 413.1 divided by 0.85 equals $486. And that came out, we didn't even need to round it. Let's double check those last two answers. $13.40 and $486. Good.